Hello. Hello, everybody. How are you? Y'all know this is, even though I said I'd be at 10, you know this is around about the time that I usually come do the show. So, I understand if you have to go to work and get up early, it's fine. This will be here tomorrow, and then they'll put it on YouTube when they can. Thank you for the hearts. I love, love, love the hearts. Thank you, everybody. Hi, Terry. Hi. Thank you, Jacrisha, for sharing it. Hi, B. God, you all. I was so tired early because I've been working on this reading for a couple of days now. And I was working on, I love the hearts. Thank you, everybody. I was so tired. I went to sleep earlier. I just couldn't help it. I said, let me take a nap. Because I know sometimes I look at my videos, I'm like, wow, I look really tired. But now I think I look refreshed because I had to get some rest. I had to do a facial and all that stuff. Now, Mike, I was just thinking of you. You know what we got to do now. I have not told anybody because I'm waiting on you, but I'm ready to go, Mr. McDaniel. You know what, I don't want to do this reading. I don't have headaches, but for the past few days, I literally have had a really bad migraine because of what I am seeing. This reading, this is part 2 with NIPSEY's brother, BLACC Samael, and TANISHA. I'm only doing a part 2 because NIPSEY wants me to. And there were things I did not get into with the first one. And I'm telling you, I'm very tense right now. I'm very stressed because there are things I don't want to get into it now. But the only reason that I'm going to get into this, just be done with it, because I asked NIPSEY, was it okay for me to say some of these things? And he said yes, but I'm not. No, Terry, I don't watch TV, so I didn't watch it. Somebody just called me, told me it hurt. Okay, Mike, good. Well, you know I can't come out this late, Mike, so I'm gonna have to talk to you this week because I want to do something ASAP. And I didn't know, did you do the promo yet? Because I don't want to say anything until it's done and I can show it to everybody or come introduce myself and everybody knows what's getting ready to go on for the summer. I'm so excited, but I did not say anything to anybody until I get your approval first. And then I can come down one night this week because I've been getting more rest now, getting myself together, getting in shape. Let me go on. I'm going to start because I am so bothered by this, and I'm bothered by Samael. I'm bothered by Black Sam's spirit. I had said that in the last reading I did on him over a week ago, that when NIPSEY came in here and it was Memorial Day and told me to say it, and I waited and then got on it, he was very worried about Black Sam. Thank you, Rick. And I was worried about Black Sam himself and the whole family and felt like they should really be in seclusion or have security, watch themselves, watch who they deal with, and watch their surroundings, because I felt danger. And NIPSEY was also saying that he wanted war. He wanted revenge, that it was time for it now, and that people were going to start coming up dead. And now I'm seeing people are coming up dead because there's a producer that they said was in the studio that worked with DJ Mustard. I have it on my Facebook page. He was supposedly with NIPSEY in the studio like 2 or 3 days before NIPSEY was assassinated. And now he was assassinated after I did that reading, like a little over a week ago, when I said, we was talking about the war was coming and people were getting ready to be killed. I see this is already going on. And if you look at the date when I said that, and you look at the date he was killed, it was after I put that reading up there. So this is a continuation of it because there's some fucked up shit in here that, like I said, I don't want to say. So before I say it, I will say this is for entertainment purposes only. This is a spiritual reading. I am an intuitive and a medical intuitive, and I see things spiritually. So I'm not saying that what I am seeing is an absolute. I'm just doing a spiritual reading like a whole bunch of people do, and it's just for entertainment. Okay. No, I don't watch TV. I didn't watch it. I've been too busy with this, and I'm still not finished. So what I'm going to do is come back in a couple of days because I know that the court cases are coming up. Somebody told me, in July with Black Sam and his sister Samantha in the custody hearing, I think, for TANISHA. So I'm going to come back before that date. I got to find the date because I'm not finished with this reading. But I will say that I started writing a letter today. Hi, Cedric Amun Ra. I loved your show the other day. You need to include me. We need to have vagina power into them shows. You know that ties into Egyptian spirituality with the male and female. The king and queen having the balance. Well, I don't know. Just think about it. I know you got to ask your wife. But then again, what am I talking about? You never asked me, so I can't just put myself on you. I just want to put a thought out there, you know. It might be fun for us to do something together since we never did anything together. Okay. I started writing a letter to Samael from his brother, beautiful NIPSEY, Joseph Ashkedam, and let me light this. I'm not going to really smoke tonight. I don't like the way I can't keep smoking the cigars all the time. They stain my teeth, so I have to really watch this stuff now, but I'm still going to light it for them because I want it here. And two, I was just kind of waiting for them to come in. I want to make sure they were here and they were present. The Black Panthers. Yeah, I love her with the lion. Yeah, they're coming in. I sat for the most part of the evening. I started working on this maybe a few hours ago, and I got so tired. It was so deep, and I got so concerned. NIPSEY told me, it was quite beautiful. He said to his brother, let me tell you who's over the reading, the Neptune, and I looked at Neptune Poseidon, and the Egyptian equivalent is Horus. As you notice, Horus keeps coming up in all of these readings with NIPSEY and his brother. Horus and Osiris keep coming up, and the constellation of Orion and Andromeda. So that came up, and he's saying, so let me start reading the letter, and the devil is around Samael. I don't know if you remember the last reading, I said I saw the 3 demons over in NIPSEY's store, and when somebody sent me a picture of Samael, how it got very troubled and just tense. My head started to hurt because I saw demonic activity all around Samuel's brain, the head, and all around the aura. I actually saw Anubis around Samael, and I saw NIPSEY trying to speak to his brother and hug his brother. I have never seen anything like this before because Samael's whole chest in the front, there's a big hole in it, and when you go out of the back, it's exploded and it's even bigger. His aura has been torn so bad. You have a wide hole in his whole back going through the torso, and I see NIPSEY moving through it, wrapped around him like this, just hugging his brother, telling his brother that he loves him. I'm with you. I got you. And that's really powerful that Samael is still in his body. Nipsey has lost one body, the flesh body, but he's in the other body, activated, ascending, very active. And he has to come down and comfort Samael and try to tell Samael not to die, not to be sick, not to be so wrapped up with survivor's guilt and depression and overwhelmed with the fighting and the attacks that he does not die or put him in a position to be killed. He's trying to tell Samael. Samael doesn't see or hear. He kind of feels inklings, but he's not quite sure. And Nipsey's all over this man. He's even on him. He lays in his body when he's sleeping, just like he laid on his mother. He goes through all the people that he loves, and he gets inside of them. He stands around them. He listens to them. He goes where they go. He walks with them. He loves the babies. He smiled when he saw his daughter in her ceremony and speaking about her mother and her father. She still loves her mother. She's just a baby. She doesn't really understand the grown people things and the politics of things that are going on and the treachery. So it's good she's still taught to love and respect her mother. I saw him around him, and Sam is so messed up. He's so hurt. He's in so much pain. I see he's not sleeping well. He's not eating well. He's being tormented. Not just tormented by what happened to his brother and seeing his brother that way, but also feeling like, well, if it could have been me, it would have been better. I would have been able to deal with it, not my baby brother. He loves him. He thinks of him every waking moment. But what he doesn't realize is that's Nipsey also thinking of him. He's not by himself. Nipsey's also with him and thinking of him and trying to speak to him, telling him he loves him, and you've got to stay strong. You've got to fight. You got to get ready to fight for me. He's saying the war is coming. There's a lot of fucked up shit that's going on right now, and a secret war, other murders, other killings, people being targeted to be hit right now, and it's going on. So people are saying, oh, it's peaceful out here and the gangs are getting along, there's no problem. I'm telling you, that's a lie. And that's what Nipsey's telling me. He said, no, the war is going on right now. So Samael needs a lot of healing. Oh, boy. He's in trouble. Mentally, emotionally, and psychically. He's in trouble. So I'm going to read you some of what he's saying to me. This is to Samael. This is Nipsey. He said, I love you, bro. I'm with you all the time. I walk with you. I hear your heartbeat. I hear you think, and I strategize with you. I get inside you so you can feel me. I try to play games with you. It's something he was saying about at some point they would play games, or he'd play tricks on Sam or games with Sam. And he said he would know what he was talking about. He said, I just play games with you to get on your nerves, to make you look at certain things. He said, like certain games that he would do. Something I'm talking about computer games, video games. He said to make you look at computers and places to remind you of me. He said, you see the puzzle? He said, Sam, put the pieces together. Remember, don't let them make you bleed. He said, bleed green out of your hand and let them take the land. Don't leak out black through your feet that leads to death for you and me. Basically, what he's saying is he doesn't want him to get so low and so messed up in the head and so depressed and so weak without eating, without sleeping, without focus, without strategy, without concentration, without bonding with him, that he allows them to bleed red blood out of the green land, and the blood coming through his hands, which is the money, because that would be green and that would be red. And then when he's talking about They're taking it out of the land and don't leak. Because I literally saw black energy leaking out of his feet because that represents death. And he said if it leaks out and then the feet and it goes into the cemetery. He said if you let them do that, leak the black out through your feet, that leads to death for you and me. Then he would be eradicated. So someone is thinking of, hey Monica, eradicating Sam the same way they did to Nipsey. That's what Nipsey's saying to him. He's saying, I always admired and looked up to you, Sam. You are my twin. You are the other side of me, bro. I love you. More than life, we will always be brothers in the soul. I will always be with you. Nothing will separate us, not even physical death. I'm still with you. I just changed forms. Look for the blue bird. He says, looking for the bird. He said, and the falcon. If you see the falcon, he said, that is me. And I said, falcon. So I looked up the falcon bird, which is a ruthless and vicious predator and strategist. Then he said, and I am the eagle. You see those birds, bro, that's me talking to you, giving you the sign. And then I look, Horus, again, he keeps coming up. And Osiris, Horus is the falcon. Comes up as a falcon, and the eagle also comes up as Horus. Hi, Ashley. And I'm saying, wow, so you've been sending him little signs? And he said, yes. And that's one of them he'll know. Looking at the birds, looking in the sky. As well as what he shows him on the ground and then the underworld. Because the underworld is very strong around Sam. And that's where Nipsey's other self is. But he's also here and present. And Anubis is standing on the left side of Sam and then the left eye. I don't know if you remember when I did the other reading, I said something about Sam's eyes and the left eye. And I know that also the left, what does it represent? The sun is the right eye, the moon is the left eye, which would be the nighttime. But then I know that there's something going on too medically with Sam's eyes, because Sam wears glasses. So they were also telling me something he needs to know about the eyes, and particularly the left. So I noticed that came up on a metaphysical level with the god Horus, and also the physical level when I examined his eyes, when I brought that up in the last reading. And then I looked at the picture someone sent to me, and then even Ricky said he noticed his Sam's left eye was off at Imani's ceremony, and he was looking dazed, and some of his hair was sticking up on the top of his head. And I said, oh my God, the underworld is surrounding Sam. And I looked again, and I said, oh, I see demonic activity around this man. This is not normal grieving. This is also psychic attack, and this is secret plot, evil plot, and conspiracy against Samael. Okay, he's saying, that's me, the bird. He said, money, bro, keep your mind on it. Let people talk, circumstances, don't let them, he said, don't let the people, the talking, the circumstances stop you from doing what you need to do to keep our family stable and protected. And justice, he said, war, Sam. This is war, Sam. He said, fabled enemies, Sam. He said, watch that. So there is a video. I gotta go look at this again, with fabled energy, fabled enemies. We're talking about the government and creating enemies, or justifying, just like when you look at Bush justifying going after Saddam, and that was a fabled enemy. You see what I'm saying? That's what I mean. That's what he's saying. Just like he was a fabled enemy, but he wasn't the enemy of anybody, and he was set up to be assassinated. That same energy is swirling around Samael, and that's what he's trying to warn him about. He said, this is a trick. He said, watch that hidden enemies watching you, wanting you to crack. He say male and female watching your connections and your surroundings. He's saying about water supply. He's saying don't eat everywhere to avoid poison or false ambush, set up an attack. And I don't know why, but he kept saying water, water, water. Scott Power. Yes, Scotty. Yeah, I agree, Scotty. And then other higher entities and officials come into play. It's like a spider with a big body, a real big spider. So the spider that represents the people within, professional as well as personal. Then you see the legs branching out. That's how I see it. The bigger body is the people from within, business and personal, and lovers. And then the legs sprouting out to me represent law organizations, politics, other organizations that only can move in through the tentacles or through the legs through people that are inside. That's how they get in, through spies and informants, fake friends inside, and then they will benefit from this man being killed, assassinated from the inside. Because I don't care what anybody says. And you can see what I've been saying now. This is government and political. I'm not saying he was killed by the government, but I'm saying because of his death and because of the intellectual properties and physical properties and the other things he owns and the monies, people that control policy in California, that control urban development and certain zones, will now be able to come in and even bribe certain people or set certain people up, dealing with his properties, dealing with his money, and then on a other level, dealing with his intellectual properties, his music, his clothes, and the trademark. Because now you see, what is that, Crips LLC? What is the name of that organization that they think Big U secretly might be on the board, that is trying to file a trademark for NIPSEY's phrase that he always used. He created the marathon continues. His former manager, Big U, was jealous of it. I absolutely agree with you. Yes. And now they're trying to take that man's trademark phrase, the marathon continues, that he made up and used, and try to use it for their organization. There are men and women in that organization, and I have spoken several times in different readings, said there were male and females involved, and he is also saying it in his letter at Sharon. And he's saying males and females watch your connection, but he kept saying something about water. And I don't know why, unless I'm hearing it incorrectly, Nipsey keeps speaking about Sam's water supply. So I don't know if he's drinking bottled water and getting it from a certain place. I don't know if he's trusting someone else to buy it and bring it to him. Excuse me. In the house. I don't know if it's something in the house, wherever they are, where he's getting. For what he, I just have to say it. Even if I'll take a chance, I want to be wrong. But I just have to honor him and do what he told me. Hi, Chance. And to say about the water supply and not to eat everywhere to avoid being poisoned. He said false ambush, set up an attack. He said people want Sam's position. He said, and there's a female on one side that is in the open. Like, she puts herself out in the open as a harmless person, and she's very active around him and his family and even in business as a harmless person, so you will not suspect her. And then he said there's another female that handles business for Nipsey, is spying on Sam and secretly going outside of the camp, talking about Sam behind his back, saying he might not be able to stand alone, and he's cracking under the pressure, weak, and so he might not be able to stand up in public either and fight under the pressure. It said a woman is still holding Nipsey and family contracts, that is talking to one of Nipsey's secretly talking to a business partner. This is a black man I see secretly on the phone in the office. It's tied to law too. So I don't know if he's a lawyer. or if he knows law and he works with a part of the contracts deals he had with him that deal with law, the legal structure of a contract, ownerships and agreements, especially in Nipsey's death. But he's talking to this lady that's close to Nipsey's family, that's inside of there, that they trust and consider her a close friend. And also there's another female inside of there that is a part of the family group, that they don't see either one of these women as a threat. One is younger and one is older. One is very savvy in business. And the contracts for Nipsey, I see that this woman helped to set up, and that she secretly talked to the man that's a part of it. And I keep seeing him in a law office. It looked like a law office with bookshelves and books all over him. He deals with something legal with the contract, but he was also a partner with Nipsey. And this woman is now still a go-between. She's still inside of Nipsey's family because the contracts are still intact right now for Nipsey to have benefited. But now he's not physically here, and they don't want to pass it to his family and to Sam. So they're talking about a secret business partner, a black man. But there are other partners too. But this one is what I could see. He's the one this lady's secretly talking to, and I see him slid down like this on the phone. She whispering everything to him. Reminds me of Malcolm X murder. Yes, Scotty, you're absolutely right. Yes, you're right. And they're paid. Bingo, Scotty. You know. You're smart. You know. You've lived this. You're exactly right. Like I was saying, the spider with the legs. The family inside is the big fat spider body with the legs, tentacles out, that bring them in through the fucking legs. Yes. And it's saying this black man wants all of Nipsey's contracts, deals, and estate. Listen to this. This is what Nipsey's saying, if I'm interpreting it right. So this is alleged. This is spiritual. But we will watch and see, and you all will let me know like you always do. Nipsey say that this man that's a business partner heals this black man, very wealthy, successful black man that come off very professional and quiet on the outside and very put together. Seems like a nice guy, harmless. He's older than Nipsey. This guy deep down is cutthroat, and especially now, since Nipsey's not physically healed to handle these things. Nipsey's saying this to tell me, he say, this man wants the deals to be consolidated or put in a trust that he can be the trustee or overseer of Nipsey estate. You know what name came to me? Catherine Jackson with Michael. It's the same kind of feeling, because they're saying Catherine's over the money, but Catherine's really not directly over the money. She has to go to some type of board, I don't know, the courts are over it, and ask for a certain amount of money that she needs to do certain things. I don't know the complete structure, but I think it's something like that. But she doesn't have total control. She just go and spend any amount where she wants to without asking anybody. There's a judicial process or something. Okay, they said, so that Sam will have to go through a judicial process. So see, basically what they want is Sam to lose. They don't want Sam to win power over his brother Nipsey's estate. They want to crack him. They want to make him break before the legal proceeding. So when he get in there, he like a fool, babbling, weak, depressed, tired, out of his mind, can't defend himself, can't defend his position as to why he should be over his own blood brother, his little brother's estate. Big U nieces, Nipsey. Yes, I know Tanisha, the baby mom. Yes, including Big U's trademark portrayal of the marathon name and life. Yeah, but you know what, though? We trying to figure it out, but Big U has not come forward and admitted that he has anything to do with trying to get that marathon name. He won't say. Thank you, John. And he's saying that's what they want to do. They want to get rid of Black Sam physically altogether, so he's not a threat. But they're trying to think of a subtle way to do the shit if they can't catch him nowhere. And I think he already know that. That's why I don't think that he's out everywhere doing everything with everybody. I think he know, and the family know. So they are very cautious. I think they understand this was very close, and they're hearing things that they're just not discussing. They said they don't want his brother to have the estate, and they want to put him in a position where this other man I saw, and that group to consolidate his assets, then chop them up the way they see fit. Basically what they gave to NIPSEY, now he's not physically here, they want to take it back. They want to make the money themselves, and if they give the family anything, they want them like beggars, not having control of their own brother, daddy, son, resources that he made, and that family was all a business together. They were all partners in that together. They want to cut that family out of that boy resources that belong to him, and that family built and hustled and struggled together to get. The lion's now roaring, showing his teeth. He don't like it. He's very upset about it. And let me get to this point. It bothered me because when I looked at Samael, I seen all them ancestors from that tomb over there in Ethiopian Eritrea just pulling on Sam. And see, I think Sam is psychic like NIPSEY. You can feel it, but if they don't help him balance himself and he don't hurry up and get himself together and realize how serious it is, they're going to drive him crazy. And the spirits are not trying to drive. Yeah, they cast a spell like I had told y'all with the last reading. I seen them 3 demons up there, and Anton LaVey coming here and confirmed this shit. That boy looked like he got some type of bad magic. I see the demon on him, but Anubis popped up, and then all the ancestors coming from the tombs and the graves trying to encourage Sam, trying to tell him, you have to fight. You have to do this for us. You have to stay strong. But he doesn't understand because the energies are so intense. The energies are so strong on him. I see about 5 tombs. I see when I'm getting chills all over. Because I see with one tomb, a spirit will lift up out of it. His ancestors lift up out of it. And then they got another one behind it. Like some of them were stacked on each other, real close, packed in together. All these spirits are getting up, and they've come over here. And now we know some of them were already here, as I've told y'all before. And they are surrounding Sam. I don't see them on the others as strong, but then again, I hadn't looked at them. What I do is, I don't choose these readings. They choose me, so I go where NIPSEY tells me to go. So I see a lot of other people going all over the place, and because they're fans, ask them, oh, we'll do this one and do that one, and is she pregnant, and who NIPSEY was fucking, and how many bitches, and is it a pregnancy, and what this one doing, and did he fuck this one, and that. See, I don't focus on that, because at this point, what the fuck does it matter who he was putting his dick in, busting their motherfucking stomach over? What does it matter at this point? That's irrelevant to the shit that's fucking going on, as far as I'm concerned. And when it comes to me, he bring me so much deeper and higher shit. I don't want to talk about who was sucking his dick, because at this point, it doesn't fucking matter to me. It's this shit, that's some petty, low-level ass shit. Hell, all I know, shit, they wasn't motherfucking fucking him, but they want to know who ass he was digging in. Digging in the scene like the gangster lean. Who he was running dick balls deep up in. Bitch, it wasn't you, so, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to, that shit not relevant. We can't take that to court. I can't get at the fucking Samael and talk about how that shit tie in, in his, who ass he in. That's it. This is some stupid shit to me. So I'm going to go where he tells me to go. I understand, Scotty. I definitely understand. Me and you'll have to talk about that on the low. I ain't going to get into that right there. You see what I'm saying? I have to watch myself with certain shit I say. It's certain, just like y'all need to stop. Don't send me no more emails talking about, well, Jay-Z and Beyonce and Jay-Z did. Look, I don't know nothing about Jay-Z doing a motherfucking thing, but singing and tapping his hand and be up there with Beyonce when she let loose on their motherfucking ass and do her goddamn thing. I don't know nothing about it. If y'all ain't got no proof that Jay-Z shot the shit out that damn man, then don't come over here talking about what I need to fuck. I'm not saying nothing about them. And then y'all write me all kind of, it's either you telling me I need to say this about him, or I need to tell me who he was fucking, or I'm a hoe and I'm fucking and sucking dicks for rent and all this kind of goddamn shit. It's one or the other. Y'all say that shit to me. All I got to say to that shit right here, I ain't finna go off into that shit too deep tonight, but all I got to say, I want to shout Solange out again for putting me on her damn song, 2 song, because she tried to tell y'all about me now. The name of that song is What We Be About That Freaking now. She done told y'all that I'm about that goddamn freaking. I don't give a fuck what you motherfucker said about me. Now, she done let your motherfucker ass know that you listen to her song. It's on YouTube, a new album that came out. We about that freaking, and I'm damn sure about it. I'm really about it. But not with this bullshit right here. Now, don't ask me nothing else about Jay-Z. I'm not finna discuss nothing that I do not fucking know and that I cannot fucking prove. Now, if y'all can prove that, y'all want to get on that shit, then y'all do the fucking reading here. Y'all write the damn letter out and let the spirit come and tell y'all he did this shit. And then, where's the goddamn proof in the shit? But right now, I'm all about this freaking, hey, like she put in there. Like that baby put it in there and shouted me out on this goddamn vagina power shit. All that other bullshit, y'all not finna get me in trouble. Y'all not finna fuck up what I got going on, goddamn it. So you take them emails, send it to another goddamn psychic. Send that shit to another fucking reader. Cause shit, I'm like Denzel on Training Day, bitch. It ain't what the fuck you know, motherfucker. It's what the fuck you can prove, and I can't prove a goddamn thing of what the fuck y'all said. Y'all can't even prove the shit you said about me, cause I'm still ready to see the deeds and leases that you said I suck a dick up till I hiccup for back in the motherfucker day. Nah. I only get into what NIPSEY tells me I could fucking get on. Thank you, Scotty, baby. Oh, God, I'm so in love with her. I can't believe she did that for me. But she say shit. I go where he tell me to go. And I'm going to be respectful to any spirit that comes to me. And no matter what I heard, if that spirit don't say get in it and address this and that, then I'm not going to get in that. Because I'm not trying to please humans and get clicks and views and rank. Because they don't pay me on YouTube for doing the NIPSEY readings. And then, too, because I cuss. So, I'm not finna sit here and do stuff to make people like me or come click like on my channel or for views and shit and then disrespect and hurt somebody's family or hurt a spirit. Hurt a soul. I'm not about that. So, you don't have to like me. You don't have to watch my shit. I heard little shit people told me different psychics said about me, you know, because I wouldn't go there with that shit. Well, y'all like to go there with it. So, y'all take it low. But one thing, NIPSEY, you didn't know, and he didn't pull his dick out and stick it in you low and go high in your fucking ass. You don't know the motherfucker like that. You don't know the nigga like that. So since you didn't know him like that, why is it so important that y'all know about this man's sex life? Jesus. What? Okay, I just want to keep them type of people away from me. I keep that because, like I say, they didn't do it to my motherfucking ass and harass me and shit and tell me that's what I like to do. So, anyway, I'm sorry. Moving on. I just had to throw it in now. Now, he's saying, he mentioned the poison, like I said, that I don't want to say. He said that he must look out for spying. He's being spied on, which make me wonder is the phone tap. And he being watched. And I don't know if Sam knows he's being spied on. He's being watched. And saying how they secretly go outside of the camp. And they're talking and spreading this information and trying to sabotage his ability to get control of his brother's estate because they don't want him to have the money. They don't want him to have the money. They want to take it from that young man and take it from the family, the mama, the daddy, the grandmama. And he mentioned his grandmama. He loved his grandmama. And he wants Samael to stay here and be strong and help them watch grandma. He just saying grandma. He loved his grandma. And his heart just lit up and his heart just got real big when he was talking about his grandma. So what's in it for you, me and my? So there's nothing in it for me other than to do the will of my ancestors and to pass the messages of the spirits. That's what this is to me. Because just to do these videos and on any spirit that come to me, if I want to do it, I do it. And it helps, yeah, it does help to make me a better person. It helps develop my abilities and my skills. And I believe that I'm giving back by sharing from these beautiful spirits that get stuck on that realm, and then they want to talk to someone to bring the information through. This means everything to me, because I believe when I'm not here, you and everybody else will still be able to watch this, and other generations will be able to watch this, and me being a transcriber, a spiritual court reporter, if you will. Because what they are saying, everybody can't hear, and everybody cannot see them. So I am writing, I am typing, I'm transcribing their message, and I'm giving it to you. And what I'm praying is that his family members, the right people supposed to get it, will get it. Once I do that, I don't worry about it. And trying to get nothing else out of it. Well, I appreciate the people that listen to these. And I appreciate your donations to help me continue to go on. I appreciate when you come and you get spiritual readings from me. And that you share the readings. And then you all go out and you research, you investigate for me. And then you all come back and tell me what you find out and things I've said to verify it. Which helps me become a better person. And it helps me to become more intuitive. So that's what I get out of it. Because I don't see anything else I could possibly get out of it. Here, he ain't my nigga. I ain't got no goddamn baby band, man. I don't know his family. I ain't no family member. I don't get shit else out of this shit. But I love it. And I respect the fact that these spirit... Thank you. Please touch me. I'm honored that they come. They come to me. And they talk to me. It's an honor to me. Let me get this finished and I'm going to tell you some stories of some readings I just did. Okay. It's saying, yeah, about the spying and people talking about Sam behind his back, making fun of him. They laughing. Some of them are niggas involved laughing about what happened to Nipsey and laughing at his brother, feeling like he can't stand without his brother. And they are trying to wreck this man in public. And he don't have a lot of people really can see what we see, what's going on with him, and to help him fight under pressure, to strengthen him while he's going through such a deep pain and heartbreak of losing his brother. That's something he probably will never get over. And then, yes, I told you about the woman in the contract, and she's talking to that motherfucker nigga on the low that's in that law office. I see slide down with that phone on their goddamn ear on the low. She's telling them shit, and how they're trying to figure out a way to get out of honoring Nipsey's contract. That's what they're working on. This lady is going to make money because she's still going to be a part of the deal. The one that's spying, listening to them, and then sneaking, taking out the count. Going to repeat what's being said. Then they don't know because they trust these two women. And yes, and how they wanted him to beg and request for money, but be on the outside looking in. Let me tell you what they said it's tied to. This man that's a partner in this contract, I hate to say this, but it's saying that it is tied to underground organized activity, lotto, and gambling. On the upside of it is legal. This type of lotto, this gambling or something is legal. But underneath, it is funded by underworld activity, and police are getting paid. That's what it's showing me. And it's saying they want the family surgically excised out, cut out, removed from estates and natural resources, which would also be land and resources under land. And he said the word again, poison. I don't want to say it, but I have to say it because Nipsey keeps saying poison. Said, Sam, take care of grandma and her heart. her heart is my heart. And then I didn't quite understand it. I don't know them. So he said, my heart is broken. He said, his grandmother had a man. So I guess when she was young, maybe she was married or had a man that was with her. She said he said that the man left his grandmother and she was alone and she was heartbroken. So I don't know if that means death. They loved each other and he died, or he physically walked away. And he said, I feel bad because I left grandma. Like her other man, so it must have been a long time ago, left. He said she was alone. He said, I don't want her to die. I don't want her to be so hurt over me and heartbroken over me. He said, because I'm with her and I'm around her. And he started to laugh like a little boy. When he was talking about her, he felt like a little boy. And he said, I want her to, what did he say? He said, she's brokenhearted. He said, but hold me close in your heart. He said, light a candle for me, Grandma, and put my picture there. So he wants Grandma to put his picture up like on an altar, put his candle. He said he wants a special candle. He wants her to light the candle for him every day. Even if she just lights it for a certain time and pray for her baby. And he wants her to put his name. This is Nipsey's candle. This is Ermias's candle. That sounds so sweet. And that's what you should do anyway when you have a candle of a spirit. You title it that. You put their name on it. You put their name under it. You put their picture beside it. He wants his grandmother to do this. And he said, pray for me, Grandma. And he said, don't be heartbroken for me, Grandma, because I love you and I'm always with you and I need you to be there. He just keeps saying he loves her and he wants her to bond with him. And he said he knows he's special to her. And he's like, I want my candle. I want my name, Grandma. I want you to talk just to me. I want you to pray for me, Grandma. And it was like he's a little boy when he's talking about her. And then that's when I wrote down what I was explaining to you earlier. I said a large hole is in Samael's back and in his heart. His heart is so broken and his energy is out of his body. He's lost a lot of life force energy. It's displaced out of the body. His soul, literally his soul is hanging out of his body from the trauma of seeing his brother's body and the body death. And what I saw, what I never saw before, was when he's literally as the higher self, his auric field's torn really bad. The heart is broken. His soul is now, the astral body and parts of the soul has moved up and out of the body like suspended above the head and up above the physical body. And because he's so hurt and he doesn't want to be here without his brother. Nipsey comes down and he's wrapped around his brother. He's hugging him, trying to tell him, I'm here. I got you. It's going to be okay, bro. Don't leave. Don't leave, bro. You got to stay here. You got to stay here for them. You got to fight for me. You got to do this for me. Don't do this. And when he's wrapped around him, but I see his umbilical cord is still attached to the astral body, to the soul. So he's not dead, but leaking extreme amounts of energy and not taking care of the body, and he's not getting the energy work to seal him, and he's not doing it for himself. So he's a mess because he's losing a lot of energy, and people want this to happen to this young man. And another thing I seen, because he keeps saying, please be strong. He said, don't let go. He's telling us, don't let go. Be strong. Nipsey wants you to stay here to fight for his legacy and to help the youth and help his children. And it's saying his ka needs to be repaired. When you're dealing with Egyptian spirituality and science, you have the ka and the ba and the ankh. Ma'at and Ma'at Kiru came up, which represents justice, which would be Libra, and allows the scales of balance and would represent court, justice and law, which is what Samael is dealing with, but his ka is out and it's broken. So the car and the body needs to be balanced. For Sam to pull all of his life force back into himself and get himself together, he needs a lot of spiritual and etheric and energetic work done. And Nipsey keeps saying, I need you to stay here. I need you to fight for me. And he's saying, yes, about him out of the body and the aura is ruptured. He said his heart, the circulatory system is off. The even heartbeat, like a panic attack, irregular heartbeat, sleep off, digestive issues, appetite issues. I don't know what Sam's eating, but he's not eating in rhythm. He's not eating what he's supposed to eat. Nipsey's still in the earth realm. His car and his body is still strong in the earth realm near his body. And he is ascending and healing and trying to heal his brother and his family. And he's saying, go in the sun. He wants him to actually, if he can take it, go bond with him at the grave. Because Nipsey misses him just as much as he misses Nipsey. And he said he needs Sam to talk to him and set up a Ogungun altar. He needs to face this. He said, I need you to talk to me. I need you to eat with me. I need you to feed me. I need you to bond with me spiritually, bro, because you're not going to make it if you don't know I'm here and you don't reach out and touch me like I'm trying to reach out and touch you, and you get yourself balanced and you balance and heal your car. They're going to wreck you if you don't. This is what they're waiting for. This is what you're not going to make it. If you do not reach out to me and balance yourself spirit, we are one. He's saying we are one. You need to come to me like I'm here for you. You think this is bad. I know it is bad because I'm physically not there and this happened to me. But we must continue. You cannot give up on life. What you going to do? You come over here with me. I need you there to fight and be my eyes, my ears. I need you to continue this for me. Yes, because this, Scotty, this, I'm glad you said and you know it. That's exactly what the fuck is going on. Something very evil and treacherous is going on here. And they're laughing, setting this man up. And you're not going to believe this. When I was looking with this, because I got to come back and finish. And it's things I don't, like I say, that I didn't want to get into. And that's what I don't want to get into. But I went on and did what he said. Okay. While I'm looking at this, Sandman Negus comes up to me, and Sandman say, I feel like Candyman, the movie Candyman. And that's how he saw Nipsey, and that's how he felt when it looked to Samael. And I said, well, hot damn. Because it's three of them. Sandman Negus is from Eritrea in Ethiopia. Nipsey and Samael's father is from Eritrea and Ethiopia roots. The three of them. Sandman told me he was assassinated, shot down in that alley, and he knows who killed him. He saw who killed him and said they worked with the police, and one of the men involved in killing him had an ankle bracelet on because he was on paper. I don't know if they put them on you on probation or you on parole. Said he had an ankle bracelet on that will hook up to that satellite. It will turn on. And that the police knowed they would kill that boy. He said he was ready. He knew they were going to kill him before they killed him. And he saw, and then somebody told me, you can correct me if I'm wrong, that alley was right there in the back of Big U's studio, recording studio. And Big U managed Nipsey and managed Sandman at one time. Well, they pull away. As I look, when I'm telling you, hi beautiful Nova, that they was up in the air and his astral body is above the body. His physical body is torn, And Nipsey was holding like this. Something I never seen before. I seen an angel with Samael trying to protect him. Smile while saying, no, yes, baby, yes, Scotty, he will need to do. He gonna have to figure out this strategy because he can't trust no goddamn body. The hyenas is female hyenas inside of that group, so-called family. Now, they not family members, so let me get that goddamn straight. I'm not saying that. It's not his sister. It is not his mother, his father, or his grandmother. I'm not saying family members. I said those close inside of the circle that the family trusts. And I seen two females, one older, one younger. Hi, baby. And Gabriel, he had on a white, pure white robe and had gold on. And he had his trumpet, because you know, is that the one? I think that's the one. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. Gabriel brings the news. Gabriel is the prophet that can see the past, the present, and the future. Archangel Gabriel was standing beside Samael. Gabriel. I said, let me look it up. I went to look at Ethiopian angel Gabriel. Make sure I'm not saying it right. Did I say Gabriel? Make sure I write it right now. I want to remember. Yes, it's Gabriel. Gabriel, archangel. Whew. When I looked, and then I also saw the god Neptune, which is the brother of Jupiter and Zeus, and Pluto, which is over Hades, the Andromeda constellation, Sirius and Orion constellation, which would be also connected to Osiris. And I see these three. So I'm wondering, what is Sandman talking about? Or then I see Gabriel with Samael up above the body. And I know he brings prophecy and he's protecting Samael. So Samael wake up and start to fight back and deal with this spiritual attack as well. So when I look, December 27th is the day that they use to dedicate to commemorate the three youths, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, from the burning fire of King Nebuchadnezzar through the help of Saint Gabriel and Daniel, the prophet Daniel, which will be in the book of the Bible. Then I check and it say there are some Ethiopian churches, the celebration is the 19th day of each month. So we just passed the 19th a couple of days ago, and we have moved into the summer solstice, which began on June 21st. So it's very interesting that this information comes to me now, and I am speaking about the danger of Samael and Nipsey telling me to relay the message to him, and the danger with Gabriel watching over Samael. You see what I'm saying? That's the 2L. So there's something very powerful and blessed and sacred about Samael, because they have that urethran Egyptian blood where the Bible and the Garden of Eden. And what is it? It's the shrine, the Ark of the Covenant. That is in them young men, off Dreon bloodline. And then, okay, David, they had taken them prisoner and told a lie to trick David to set him up to try to get, Daniel killed. You can read this in the Bible. And then King Nebuchadnezzar had them for 3 years and trying to make them eat the food from the king's court. They didn't want it. They wanted vegetables and rice. Oh, but I'll just read this and get this. It said, Gabriel is one of the archangels who strongly contended for honor and wisdom of God when the fraud angel, Satan, the fraud angel, wished to be highest in heaven, even above God. Gabriel helped fight Satan. And Gabriel is a prophetic archangel, which is professes the future. He knows the events of the future. Just like he prophesied to people in the Bible, and he told the older lady that thought she was barren, that was too old to have a baby, she would conceive and have a child. So King Nebuchadnezzar of Babylon had imprisoned the Israelites. They were led into captivity. So it was Daniel and the three youths, Ananias, Azarias, and Mishael. King Nebuchadnezzar had a dream. It was fucked up by the dream and asked all his prophets and seers to come and interpret the dream and say we're going to kill them if they couldn't interpret the dream. But he had already set Daniel up and the three youths for death. So Daniel said, I can see it. I can interpret it if you save my three friends and you don't let them be killed in the lion's den. Daniel decoded Nebuchadnezzar's dream to save his friends and became, as a result of it, Nebuchadnezzar made Daniel the ruler of Babylon and chief over all of the wise men. However, when he let the three youth go and then an angel came in the fiery furnace with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, because their names were changed, they were not burned by the fire and they were released. However, it said as years went by on June 9th, see, for some reason we are in June when I'm coming up with this reading, and then I came across how they celebrate the archangel Samael, and he is tied to Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego, the three boys, the three young men. And we're talking about three young men here. Sandman, NIPSEY, and Samael is the only one in the body. That bothers me. This is what they're saying to me. This is what they showed me. I hope y'all don't think I'm crazy, but this, I just go where they tell me to go. It was absolutely fascinating. This shit had me so fucked up. The past few days, that's why I was running late, because I was tired. Head hurting and shit. I passed out. I really needed to get some rest. That's another reason I was running late. I needed to lay the fuck down. And now I do not go past it. If my body says tired, then, bitch, y'all just gonna see me late. Because I'm going to lay my motherfucking ass down, because I only got one goddamn body. So I got to respect it. And take care of it. So I knew if y'all didn't see it tonight, it'll be here tomorrow. And then eventually my friends will put it on their channel on YouTube. But I had to get a little, I didn't know I was going to goddamn go to sleep. I laid out, some rest a little while. Next thing I know, I woke up and didn't even know I had fucking went to sleep. That's how tired my motherfucking ass was. So I'm looking at this shit. And I said, wow, I got to come back and do part 2 because I got to deal with the legal. Yes, Tony, child, I feel it, and I feel him here. She's giving me permission to get into this. So on June 9th, they said Saint Cyril of Alexander, said the Saint Cyril of Alexander had, and Saint Ananias, Azarias, and Mishael were beheaded on order of the Persian emperor Cambyses. So it looks like what they're saying, that even though Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego got out of the lion's den, they will be beheaded later for something else. And that bothered me. Because Sandman pops up in this reading, and it's 3 of them, and they are all 3 from Eritrean bloodlines. They have a parent that is directly from there, and then a parent that is of so-called African American descent and other things. Because I think Nipsey's mother's Creole. At least she has that exotic look, and I saw her when she was younger. A beautiful woman. And she looks like she's a Creole woman. So that's why this bothered me. So I'm going to come back and finish this part. But what I will say, the other part that I don't want to say, that I've been fighting with, okay? When I look at the reading, just looking at the cards, and then I have to decipher those, because it keeps showing the same cards about the fighting, the jealousy. It shows the King of Pentacles fighting with a group of people. That King of Pentacles is a wealthy man that is also tied to organized crime, politics, police, and drug activity. He is fighting with a group of people right now. A lot of jealousy, a lot of competition, a lot of mouth going back and forth, arguing with each other. And this is about money, power, and position. It could also be about things that he promised them. I also see with TANISHA, and this bothers me a lot. And of course, I'm going to say alleged because I don't know. So I'm going to say that, this is, of course, a reading. It's a spiritual reading. So I'm not saying for a fact I know because I wasn't there. There's someone, because this man, sometimes when I ask about her, he comes up as the King of Cups. Or he might come up, I have to remember how he comes up as another way, with somebody that is older, and I wonder, is it her father? Or like a father figure. This is not the King of Pentacles, even though he comes up with her too. He always comes up in her readings. He comes up in NIPSEY's readings. He comes up in Samael's reading. And this is when I asked about Samael, what the NIPSEY woman to know about Samael and TANISHA with the court proceeding. It is getting ready to be more legal proceedings, but there's also a woman that is sitting that is secretly plotting her case. So I'm wondering, does TANISHA have female legal people or legal people that are helping her, as well as Samael has female people that are secretly plotting and strategizing? This lady is very savvy, also spiritual, and also can peer deeply into things, but you don't know, you won't see her because she will never be reckless and run her mouth. She always moves methodically, and she moves in silence. She is beside, she will come up in this legal issue. When I look at TANISHA, this man, either if this is her father or a father figure, someone close to her, this man either is a alcoholic or has been a alcoholic or a drug addict, has done something, could be a man of position, but is very soft, very weak in some ways, erratic. I wonder, in the past, has he been in and out of her life? Has he been a liar? Has he been consistent? And then it's like she was afraid that this man was going to be killed, or he almost died, and he needs, he didn't die, because I think someone told me he didn't die, but this man has some physical problems and will need extensive surgery. This is what TANISHA's afraid of, that he may be killed, he may die, or have an accident, or he's had an accident, or will come up on one from being careless or reckless, or something he said or didn't say, or something he did or didn't do that makes her feel he may die or something may happen to him. I don't know what this means, but either she feels this way or she thinks he's going to need some type of work done. Because the knives, I see the knives, I see the surgery. He's going to need some type of surgery. Again, I could be saying the wrong shit. If it's not the father, it's someone like a father that's close to her, that he's a liar. I see his mouth. A liar. Drunk. Off and on, in and out, back and forth. That's what I see about him, his life in the past. Liar. Inconsistent. For some reason, that's what I'm seeing. I also see, this is a three-way again. I saw 6 people. Okay. This is a three-way with the heartbreak concerning something's going on in TANISHA's family and with the family members, but then it's also in the disappointment with her, NIPSEY, and Lauren. She looked at this like a three-way love affair, that she wanted NIPSEY to herself, and then I see 3 more women celebrating, thinking that they're going to benefit off of what happened. But then at one point it looks like now that has turned to 3 people being very heartbroken and very upset with this situation, and Nipsey's very upset, and he's watching this whole situation here, and he's finding out things that he's telling me he did not know. Tanisha is feeling like they were lovers and that he betrayed her. She's very angry right now because she feels like, you know, we were lovers and all the things that I did for him and what I thought we had together, and now he left me nothing, and people making fun of me and they laughing, and she's very embarrassed, and she's like, how could he betray me? How could he do this to me? But then Nipsey is also feeling now that she betrayed him, because when I'm seeing him, it's showing his head. The head trauma, his head is hurting. He's like, I done been through this with this bitch so many goddamn times. We done went back and forth, and I tried to keep the peace. I tried to get along with her. I even hid her secrets. I really didn't want nobody to know how she was. You know, I'm just trying to see the child. I'm trying to have peace between us so she won't start no static with me. When she said in that video, you know, my baby's father never disrespected me. Yes, he did. You disrespect him. He disrespect your ass. Y'all over there fussing and fighting. You trying to pull up on him and start shit with him and want to jump on another bitch, but he didn't want to fight you. He didn't want to do that to you. He said you were threatening him. Like I had said in the first reading, I still get the same shit. They both played games with each other. And they were off and on. But then I see her, how can I describe this shit? Like, she be nice to him, but she manipulated him, he manipulated her. She played games with him, he played games with her. Well, where are you going? Do you leave our house or have the child? Well, I gotta go out take care of some business. Well, who you going to see? What are you talking about? I gotta go. I gotta, you know. And they wasn't even together. They dealing with the child, but she still liking him. Want to keep fucking him. Want to pull him in and take him from Lauren. Want to have him to herself. Want to take him from any bitch, really. And she says, "Oh, so you're gonna go over there with this bitch." But he's like, "What are you talking about? I know you. I know what the fuck you're gonna do. You're gonna leave me. You don't want to stay here. You don't want to commit. You don't want to be with me. You're gonna be over there with this bitch. You're gonna do this. You're gonna do that." Starts the confrontation with him, and he's like, "Man, okay, look. I see him giving her money, being nice to her, helping her out, and she helped him in ways too. Back in the day when he was starting out, I think even the past few years, she would still do things for him and try to be there for him, but he didn't want to be with her. He didn't want to go back there, but she felt like, I got this baby. I got the manipulation. I can still try to manipulate him sexually, and then start to put demands. You know, like, I want some dick. Well, no, I don't want it. You ain't gonna come over here? Okay. Well, I'm gonna tell such. Like, that kind of shit was going on. Then he might have manipulated her or had some type of ego driven, maybe a little bit of jealousy when she acted like she tried to move on and be with somebody. They would play these games. But at the same time, he didn't want to commit from her. He didn't trust her. He felt very insecure and felt dangerous to be in this woman's house and be around her. For some reason, I kept saying like he felt like she would set him up. From things he saw and how he knew that she was, and she talks, and she threatens, and she gets mad. It was always nice one minute, you don't get your way, stab the next minute. Nice one minute, okay, I'm sorry, you get your way, and then you ask for something else, and then he don't, stab the next minute. That's what he's saying. Very erratic, impulsive behavior. Then she stopped trusting him, actually was spying on him, trying to keep up with him, trying to see what was going on with him. If she could see in the phone, she would look in the phone. She would behind his back. If she could track him, if she could put a tracker, look at his text. I'm telling you, this is a very dangerous, erratic, crazy relationship. And he wasn't going to commit to her. Even if he had completely left Lauren, he wasn't going to go back over there because he couldn't trust her. She's too unstable. And I'm going to tell you something that this is another part I don't want to say. Lord, have mercy. I'm seeing that people now are also, including her, are very angry and jealous, and she's obsessed with Nipsey. She's obsessed with this man. She thinks of him all the time. She can't shake him, and he be on her too. He come over her house, he get on her, he see what she's doing, he listens. He listens to her with her mans, and they be talking. He hears their conversation. Lord have mercy. He don't want to be with her like that, but she's right though. When she said that there was still some sexual thing, sometimes, not all the time, and I'm telling you why. Because of what she would do, and she would hold things over him, threaten things. He trying to keep the peace. He trying to keep it quiet. I'm saying a part of her, yes, is very karmic between them and very dangerous and deadly. I see he was attracted to her. At one time he was crazy about it. Their sexual chemistry was off the chain. Like him and Lauren's sexual chemistry is off the chain. And he's a very intense person. And he's a good lover. I will tell you that. I'm not getting into nothing else. Because it applies to what I'm saying. So there, but then he lost his feelings for her. She fucking other niggas. When she got pregnant with him, he was pregnant. They weren't even together. I think he was in jail. And she told him, he said, well, you know, he didn't want to get rid of no baby. He wanted to keep the baby. They weren't even together. She fucking other niggas. Got 2 children by other men. That other man came up dead 2017. And then she got an 18-year-old in jail. The little girl wanted him to go get the little girl. Another child on the whatever that I'm not sure if that's a boy. All over the place. But you focusing on the 10-year-old, Nipsey's child, called That's the Money Maker right there. That's the goose with the, you feel like you the goose done laid the goddamn golden egg and you want to benefit. That's what a lot of this is about too. Fighting and resentment. She don't have a lot of money. But she feel like if I hold on and fight, I'm going to get his. Because he owed me, because he left me hanging, he betrayed me. And then he's telling me he feels that as her lover, ex-lover, and the father of her child, he was trying to be alone and be friends and keep money in her pocket and help and look out for her. He was nice to this girl now. Now she right about that. He was nice to her. He was still helping the girl. He wouldn't see her hunger or nothing like that, even though he know how she is. He would still try to do right and keep the peace and not take that shit public, see. But she didn't change. And he told me he feel like she betrayed him and set him up. And I said, how? I laid the card out. He came out as a 10 of swords. He said I was assassinated. I was set up. I was murdered and killed, and she know about it. Allegedly. Now, when I sat there and I listened to that video with that dog in there, this is what I don't want to say. I also see how much this is about pussy, dick, and dope. This is about drugs. This is also about obsession and junkies. Her obsession with him and her addictions. This is either prostitution or just somebody like to fuck a lot and about drug addictions and drug dealing. As I continue to listen to that video of her with that guy up there and he's telling her to shut up and things to say, that guy, I couldn't see his face, but he knows how she is. Because he called himself schooling her and plotting this stuff, telling her to hold out to a certain amount of time, don't talk too much till we get this money. That's what in the spirit I heard him say. And then as I kept listening to the video, Lord have mercy, forgive me, Lord, if I am wrong. This is alleged, because I have fought with myself. I heard TANISHA say in the spirit, alleged. This is in spirit. Now, this is for entertainment. I'm just talking. said something like this. You know, when Nipsey had that weed played, which is legal. He was selling this Kush OG. That's legal in Cali. Cause I know when I went out there to speak a couple of years ago, they gave my ass some of that damn weed oil, that marijuana oil. Boy, you talking about some nice shit. But it didn't have the property. I didn't want the one and gave me some reefer candy. I didn't want the one that have the side effect, cause you know I really can't hold liquor and do dope and shit. But I was having a problem with my gland, my saliva that was swollen. I couldn't really swallow good. It wouldn't release the saliva, and then my head was hurt. And I told, because I went out there to speak at UCLA in 2015, and the girl that brought me out there, the artist, I said my head hurt and my throat bothering. I can't really chew. And she say, I can get you some weed oil. It's legal. She said, this not the kind that got the active property to make you high. I said, I don't need to get high anyway. So I'm speaking a few hours. Just give it to me. It's going to help my headache. I took it, put it on my tongue. It stopped my head from hurting. And it took the swelling. It unclogged the duct. I fell in love with it, you know, but it's not legal in Georgia, but it's legal out there. And I know people that have gotten prescriptions out there, and they can go get their weed. And they be high every goddamn day, smoking like a motherfucker, feeling good. So that part is what I'm saying about him with the store. That was legal. She said, somebody, if I'm hearing this correct, she said, I know who set his store up. She either said to be robbed or to be busted. I heard her say robbed though. And the police was in on it. They was getting paid, and they set it up. And it was some niggas. She mentioned one of them. All I will say is this. One had an E in their name. Oh, I heard her call his name. He had an E in the name. And she kind of scooted down in the chair, and she was smiling. And I'm looking at her like, girl, why are you smiling about something like that happening to Nipsey? And she said, because she was upset with him about something. I didn't want to repeat that. I seen a crew. Like a crew that go rob people that had them weed stores. The only thing is, I'm seeing somebody else behind Nipsey's back. And when Nipsey wasn't around, there was something else there. And that's all I'm going to say. And now that he has been assassinated, it created a big hole here for a lot of people that made a lot of money because of Nipsey. Yeah, it had an E in his name, and I ain't gonna say nothing else, because I think you know who I'm talking. See, I'm not saying nothing else. I done said too goddamn much to begin with. This shit has vexed my spirit, because I had to go back and forth. Nipsey, is this okay? Okay, he's a little bit upset. All right, Christina. Because he had never heard that from her. Lord have mercy, like I say. I could be wrong. Lord, forgive me if I'm wrong. I heard that girl said something like that she knew, but Nipsey didn't know. I'm not saying she went over there and did it. No, I didn't say that. But she knew, and when she would get mad at him, she would do things to get back at him, either in his face or behind his back, or make threats. And Meek, I didn't say anything about no Meek. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that means. said, oh my God. And the guy, she was talking to a guy, and he knows how she is. This guy's down with that Jack Crew shit. See, this is very scary to me and very evil. If she knew something like that. Now, I don't know if what I am saying is true, but I know eventually you listen to this, y'all look around, y'all hear things. Y'all will be able to find out and tell me. If there's any evidence of this man's stores being set up, I ain't telling your goddamn ass who it is. You forget. You forget. Y'all can ask all you goddamn want to. I done said what I didn't have no business saying. It's not a reflection on NIPSEY. Again, like I said, the marijuana stores are legal. The dispensaries are legal. But I'm not sure what type of protection they're able to have or security they're able to have. I'm sorry, y'all. I just, goddamn. I see this. That man was targeted and set up for something like that to happen when he wasn't around. They really wanted to get him. See. I think that's all I'm going to say about that part. Because like I say, I think I've said enough about that little bit right there. It scared me. And it really bothered me. That somebody could be a woman. Yeah, Katanya. Hello, Mark. Somebody could be that treacherous or female. Could be that treacherous and say stuff like that. And she is mad at Samantha and Sam and the father. She's mad at the family because they are making her fight them, but people around her, men and women, are encouraging her for the payday. And she's mad at NIPSEY. But one thing, I thought about it, and I understand how she feels, but I would also feel like this because she's treacherous and she played games with this man. They go back and forth and use the daughter as leverage to play games with this man, and it was always drama between him and her. She starts the drama. And if, like when she said in the video, oh, y'all don't know, he wasn't part of my past 16 years ago. Yeah, for if you must know, I ain't gonna say, basically you was trying to say you was still getting the dick. You could still get it. Okay. You got the dick. He pumped it in and out of your ass real full and deep. And you felt real good after that. And after he climbed out your ass, now you sitting here in the summer of 2019. We don't see no will he left with your name on it, the amount of money you supposed to get, no house, no car, but you bragging he went and wet up your ass and skidded up. You ain't in no video, Lauren is. You ain't on the red car, Lauren is. But I'm not saying he not. I'm not saying he wasn't a part of your present life, presently diving down in your ass. I'm not saying he didn't do it, Lord. But he ain't tell nobody. He ain't talk about that. So you ought to feel stupid. I see why you want to fight now. You want to fight everybody. And you want to go in cold and fight and take that man money. Because this is really about stinginess, selfishness, being broke, and revenge. Because you feel like he done made a fool out you. He done played you. And you mad. But you should have handled the shit different. Because from what I'm seeing, he's a nice guy. Yeah, he talk all that shit. He been nigga, he fight, he bite that. But still, it's like when it comes to women that he liked it, the nigga was sweet. And he tried to negotiate this shit. Instead of getting out, call y'all kind of name, like a lot of the other rappers do, don't give you name. He was still trying to do the right thing by you. And as a result of that, that's one thing when I saw in a vision the other day, Nipsey did not go to hell. His spirit is not being tortured or suffered in hell, because that baby built up a lot of grace when he was here. And he did a lot of good things for people. And as from his heart, he didn't want that. He built up a lot of grace. And that saved him from his soul going to hell. I don't care who he was giving dick to. You don't, people try to say you go to heaven and hell by fornicating. No, you don't. That was a good baby. That was a good ass nigga with a good heart. He trying to do right by that girl and that baby. Now you want to take this somewhere else and you are mad at him on the low. You like I say, nigga took care of me like that and I had a baby band, but he was with another bitch in public. That already tell me I'm not finna be the one. And then now he not here in the body. You want to brag and talking about he was still going in your ass. And then the nigga didn't leave no paperwork to prove that pussy fire. And that you got that fucking lockjaw. You may have it. But the nigga didn't submit the paperwork to probate court or a lawyer or the mama, the daddy, nobody else. He left for the little girl. So is it really fire? Because seeing how he is, he would have dealt with this different. You wouldn't have to try to convince her he was in your ass. You wouldn't have to tell us that. Because we will see that he liked it, that ass. Because of the paperwork that the nigga leave. The contract, the wills and deeds, and the probate the nigga leave for you. Now, I'm not saying, they might not have found it. Like they said Aretha didn't have one. They see she did have a will. They might not have found a nigga will. So I'm not saying he didn't leave it because your shit, could be fire, could be the bomb. But baby, where they goddamn contract? Why he got your ass up here in court and you talking about the shit these people, the disrespectful shit these people saying in all on the internet, they want to say in your face when you have put this shit out there for everybody to see it and everybody to say it. But, and you got them hands, well, you ain't got them hands for Sam. Samantha, you ain't got them hands for her. You ain't have them hands for TMZ when they caught you coming out the courthouse. You didn't whoop the cameraman ass. You just can't say God bless, God bless, God bless. But you got them hands. You rat out there. And they sticking all kind of hot dicks without grease in your ass, but you ain't. What else I want to say before I close this here? Because I got to really get deep down. I'm going to come back in a couple days. Give me some rest and dig in this motherfucker some more. Because I want to know what's going on with Sam and his court proceeding. Because I'm worried about him. I'm really worried about this thing with Nipsey and what I see going on. Here I see how deep and treacherous this motherfucker shit is. And I see the plotting. What else? I want to mention, I'm going to come back, y'all. Don't worry. This back and forth. She keeps going in. Tanisha go in and out. Yes and no. Off and on. I'm going to do it. I'm not. Back and forth with other people coming in and out. She deal with dangerous people. They are pushing her to do this, just like her and her daddy is trying to raise money, talking about they need to sue his brother-in-law family for taking that little girl. Now Nips was not his goddamn brother-in-law because he never married her. But that's your brother-in-law and you love him, but you want to sue his family and you want to raise money and y'all want to get money from that family and it's about the little girl when it really wasn't about the little girl because it wasn't about it and you had agreed to split up time with the family and NIPSEY before this physically happened to him. Now, oh, they doing me wrong, they fucking over me. Now you got your side together and this is really ugly and treacherous and about revenge and anger. She's really very angry with him and that girl, mine ain't good. NIPSEY's fucking with her in the head. I seen them over there doing it. And when he listened to that and told me that, I said, oh. He said, now some things are making sense to me. I say, you know, baby, I'm so sorry that you had to get out of your body and see this. Because he kept going back and forth with her. Up and down, back and forth, trying to work this out with her. And he knew it was always going to be volatile and conflict. Volatility with her because of the way she is. And then showing that stuff. But to know this, there were certain things he didn't know. And when I heard what I think that I heard, he got it. I said, oh, shit. Damn. I was thinking he picked up. I didn't want him to know I wasn't going to say it to him. But he heard it. And he said, this fucking... I said, no. She said, you ain't never, disrespect or cuss. He said, no. This would have got me killed. And attacking my money and my livelihood behind my back, he says, starting some things that I wondered about starting to make sense. Lord, I don't want to say this, so I'm gonna wrap this up right now. If y'all want to see me for a private reading, and y'all watch out for, you say JJ, it's convenient. Y'all watch out for it, like I know you all will, and tell me things I need to know. I'm gonna come back in a couple of days to finish this. I'm gonna check up. For you all that are tired of hearing about NIPSEY, I apologize, but you all, I'm going to ride this through, just like I did a lot of readings on R. Kelly. I'm going to come back to him to check on him, but when he asked me to do this, I will do the readings as long as he wants me to do the readings. They're very detailed. I'm learning a lot from him. I have a lot of respect for these spirits. I appreciate it. I feel like I've become a better, more educated person from doing these readings for him. And sharing them with you like he's asking me to share them with you. I'll go into the trial if there is one, unless he takes a plea. Yeah, I'm like, it's up to them. I don't make them come to me. Whenever they come, there's another celebrity. 2 celebrities came to me that I love. Y'all might not know them. 2 female singers. It came to me. I'm really considering doing a reading on them. I'm curious as to what they have to say. And they're both 2 of my favorite singers. One is Phyllis. She came in and looking as beautiful and elegant as ever. So I'm going to see where that goes. I know some of you have asked me, and what I will say, because the readings with me are so extensive, and tonight I don't have any cards here, so I didn't use a card. This is all from my mind and intuition, a couple cards I do remember seeing, but I just let the spirit kind of channel through me the reading. But when people ask me to do celebrities that have not come to me, or like they did with the, I love Phyllis. With other readings that are dealing with murder and really extensive, I cannot commit to that. But I told people, if you ask and the spirit didn't come to me, then please give me a donation and I'll do it. Because I have to stay up, and these take days. They're very extensive. So if people tell me, oh, do this person, do that person, because other psychics are doing them, and they're doing a card, and I know that I don't rely on cards to get my information. Yes, baby, Phyllis, with her bad ass. If you're not willing to have this go both ways and you're not willing to contribute to me, then I'm not going to sit up all day and all night and write a long report on a reading for someone that you just want to know and get your kicks off of. Go do that to someone else who will do anybody and anything you ask them to do for nothing. And because they don't have to do what I have to do. And the spirits don't deal with them the way they deal with me. So you shouldn't mind doing that, but that's what that is. That's what it is. And I'd say that in the email. I'll do who you want me to do if the spirit over that reading says it's okay and they want to talk to me. But you'll have to give me a donation. It'll have to be a give and take, and that's only fair. If not, I'm not doing it because you don't give a fuck about me. So don't ask if you're not willing to contribute. I will stick with spirits. This reading is so interesting. It's just like the other day, this lady came to me. Her nephew died 3 weeks ago. I think the beginning of June. And she said, well, where is he? And she hadn't even given me a donation to the reading. I was just talking to her like I do everybody up front. If it's something deep or something about a person that their bodies died and they want to know what happened, they think it was foul play, I have to talk to them first to see if I want to do it or if the spirit wants to talk to me. It doesn't work like that. I don't commit and say I'll do it up front. I tell people to send me pictures and the exact questions that you want to ask before I accept the reading. Because I'm not going to accept it if the spirit doesn't want to talk to me. It's up to them. It's not up to me. So we're just talking preliminary. And the man comes through the phone and comes into my house. This was a couple of nights ago. I said, oh, damn, he's here. I haven't committed to a reading. I just want to see what you were saying. She said, I want to know if there was foul play. I said, what? I said, let me tell you what I'm seeing. He's standing here, and there's a group of people. He's with a family. There's a whole lot of people on the other side. And she had sent me like 4 dead people to read. And she said that, I said, they told me he got his back turned to him because he said he is not accepting being dead. And he said that if he does not accept being physically dead, then it's not really real. He's still processing it. I said, and he said he has his back turned on the other people there, and they were outside at the park on these women picnic tables. He said they said that they having a picnic and a family reunion. I said, do you know about this? Did y'all used to have family reunions? She said, well, all the people, she said, we used to. We don't have the family reunions anymore. All the people that used to have the family reunions are dead. I said, well, that would make sense. I just told you that they're over there in the park drinking liquor, barbecuing pork rib, and got pig feet and shit over there, drinking liquor and damn shaking their heads and barbecuing in the park. They said they having a family reunion. And she said, yeah, it would make sense because all the ones that used to love to do it are now on the other side. I said, well, what month did they do this in? She said it was always in June. I died laughing. I said, do you realize what month we're in when you coming to me with this shit? She said, yes, it's June. I said, actually, it's June the 21st. So we just came into the first day of the summer solstice, and you over here, and he's standing over here, and they over there drinking liquor and barbecuing pork rib and shit, and you fucking with me. And she just laughed. She's like, I'm sorry, Miss Alexyss. I did not mean to do it. I did not know they were going to do it. I said, okay, so since you know that he wants to talk to me, he wants to come through, do you still want to do the reading? Since you haven't given me a dime, and I've already told you things you can verify. And I said, it's his head. His head is hurting. She's like, did someone kill him? I said, no. He wasn't murdered. I said, his head is hurting. She said he shot himself, and the bullet's still in his head. They cannot remove it. I said, it's moving. I have problems with the head. And she said, yes. I said, but that didn't even completely do it. It was other things with the blood and with other things lower. And then she told me the other day one of his problems was kidneys. So we're waiting for the results for the full autopsy. But let me tell you something. I know that some of you probably think this is like I'm twisted. That's okay. I probably am. I enjoy this. I love them. I love them. They love me. At least they love talking to me. I know it's sad, but I feel so honored because I feel like I meet your relatives even though I'm meeting them out of the body. And some of the people, I'm so honored when they let me see them. They let me see them in the casket, and a couple of people let me see video where they're in the hospital or they're in hospice. They're in like the last stages, but you can still see them moving. The body they're still alive, physically alive. And I said, can I please see? And I said, yes, I saved the video. And they let me see the people that are now physically dead. And I got to see this lady's mama. It bothered me because this lady, oh my God, her face, she's so gorgeous, beautiful woman. I thought she had makeup on. Her daughter says she doesn't wear makeup. And she sent me a picture and she said, well, my mom's from Atlanta too. She looks like you could be her cousin or somebody. And I looked at her and I said, she does look like one of my fucking aunties. And I said, we could be related. I don't know. This gorgeous woman. She was like in her 50s, but her skin flawless. This lady didn't look sick. And I'm looking at her in the bed, and she's laying there, and you know how people put the makeup on where their face has that wet look, like a gold, like a light tint or a shine, a real pretty shine. Make the skin look healthy when it shines. Her skin was naturally looking that way. And I'm looking at her, and somebody was standing on the side talking to her, and she said, look at me. And she couldn't talk, but she turned. So I knew she was alive because she was moving, but she wasn't talking. And she turned and looked at her. She said, we're going to go shopping as soon as you get well. And I said, no. I knew. You could see it, and I said, I wish, because she was in Atlanta, I wish you had found me. She said, I didn't know you when this happened. I said, she could have recovered from what she was going through. She could have recovered. And she said, we didn't know, but I was just honored I got to meet her in the spirit. And then she comes, after we did the reading, she kept coming to talk to me. And there's Michael Henderson's daughter, who's that I don't know. You have to remind me. So I've had so many beautiful people to trust me and come and share their loved ones, because I take that very seriously, and I don't care if the physical body's dead. I still meet them. I still talk to them. I still know them. It's an honor to meet them and that they come talk. I have so much fun. Yes, it's tiring and it's draining because I'm really still talking to that person. And many times they're heavier because they are outside of the body and they're stressed. Because she was a good person, but she's not happy. And she started telling me things to figure out what happened to her. And the daughter was like, really? I didn't know. I said, yeah, that's what she said. I need you to check that for me because I like your mom. So I wasn't even asking, her to pay me. I just liked doing it. That's what I'll do sometimes. Like I told you before, when the lady came and I saw the demon get up, he told me how he choked her based on a spell that was put on her. And her brother said, well, I came in. Well, he said he had seen her that day or that evening, and then the next day he saw her on the bed and she wasn't breathing. He came and touched her and she was cold. Well, I said, that's not true. And she knew that it wasn't true when I said it, because one thing she said to me that I remember seeing when I had been around bodies in the funeral home, the mother had skin slip. Now, you all can Google skin slip, but for you all that, skin slip is basically this. When someone dies and they've been dead, let's say they've been out in the heat and it wasn't hot in the house. The lady, there was air conditioner on in the house. Her body temperature was able to be stabilized and kept the body cool because the body was cool to the touch. But when you touch someone and their skin slips off and you just see the white meat underneath, it just slides off. You don't even have to touch it hard just to grab them or lift them. And when you lift them, the skin slides off. that skin slip. The person's been dead maybe a couple of days. That's not going to happen like when somebody's been dead 4, 5, 8 hours. It doesn't happen that quickly, or unless they're wet and they've been able to sit in the water, something they decompose, the skin comes off. So I'm telling her, she said, and I said, do you understand what that is? And she said, no. I said, baby, that's, and I just said what I just said to you. And she said, what? I said, yeah, that naturally happens if the body's not embalmed, or if it's hot, if it's been laying there too long, and it starts to decompose from the inside out, and there's no oxygen in the blood feeding the tissues. It starts to, especially if it's hot, it happens quicker. It flies off. And she was just horrified, and I said, it's okay, calm down. I said, I know you didn't know, but I want you to know the truth. And so she started finding out more things for me, because I just wanted to know. I was just fascinated, and then I liked her mom too. Her mom would come and talk to me for days, and I asked her, I said, do you mind? Can I just look at this? Can you get this for me? Can you get a picture? She got a picture of the bedroom. She got a picture of the house. She let me see the front side. She went over and I said, let me see her window in the back, because I want to see if somebody came in. I want to see if it was possible someone did this outside of the family. It wasn't. That was in the house. And she said, you know what, I'll give you another donation. I want you to look at the brother. I said, sure. And I started to look. So sometimes if you come to me, I mean, it's okay if you tell me no, but I might ask if it's a case like that, and I think it's fascinating. And I think the person wants to say something else, or after we do the reading, the person will pop back in my house and hang around, and I say, hey, I want to tell you something. I want you to look at. Okay, what do you want me to do? Yeah? Okay, let me ask. And I ask the person, the daughter or the son, hey, can I look at this a little bit further? I have your permission. Can you check this for me? Can you give me this? Give me that? She just said this, that. They usually say yes. I do it to become better and more informed, because there's so much to know. That's one reason, like I was saying earlier, I love the NIPSEY readings. And when my friend asked me, what do you get out of it? That's what I get out of it. That's the way of educating, and that's the way of educating you and giving back for you all that find this fascinating, that like this, or that have these abilities that you want to develop, or that you're already reading or seeing different dead people, or dreaming of them, or spirits, or doing readings, period. To me, if you have that ability, you have to stop being scared of it, because people teach you to be scared of it, because there may be somebody, a loved one, someone very close to you that may need your help, or you may see a vision. You're gonna turn away from them. You're gonna run away from them. You're gonna let them die. You're gonna let them get hurt. You're gonna let them get shot. Probably not if it's your child or someone you love. So get comfortable. Well, it's up to you. I don't want to lecture you. I just know I ran from mine, or I was taught to be ashamed of mine so long, and now I don't listen to people. This is my gift. This is my body. This is my life. Then I'm obligated to be the best I can be, and to help those that come to me. So I hope you all want to do the same thing and be the best at what you were born to do. Before you leave here, you help as many people as you can while you're helping yourself and taking care of yourself. You know, I'm stop lecturing. I'm done. Thank you for joining me. And if you are interested in getting a reading with me, you can contact me at my email, alexysstylorvp@gmail.com. But I promise I'm going to get some rest, so I can come back and do this follow-up for Samael before the court thing and what's going on with him, because I'm very troubled. Very troubled. And we need to, light a candle and pray for him as well, to make sure he doesn't leave out of here until he's ready to leave. And he's done everything for himself and his life and his brother. And the children and the foundations and the school that NIPSEY started, the Vector 90 School. can't leave us, Sam. You can't leave the children and your family and people that need you. You have to stay here for Nipsey. So many people love him. So many people are praying for him and sending him good energy. And so many people love you, Samael, that you don't even know. Well, you all have a good night. I love you all. And thank you for being here and supporting me. Good night, y'all.